Voters making their voices heard. On March 11th, the village of Royal Palm Beach will be selecting their next mayor. We go on the record.
From WPBF 25, this is On the Record with Nathalie Pozo.
Good morning and thank you so much for joining us here on the record on this Sunday morning. In about 4 weeks, the village of Royal Palm Beach will be selecting their next mayor, and joining me now to share his plans for the city is the current mayor, Jeff Hamara. Mayor, thanks so much for being here with us this morning.
Well, good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, let's jump right in. You took over as mayor after the unexpected death of the former mayor, Fred Pinto, in September. First of all, our condolences for the loss of Royal Palm Beach there. I know he was a very wonderful man that we used to have on our 9 a.m. newscast, excuse me, 9 a.m. newscast a lot. Let's talk a little bit about what you have been doing since taking over and how you plan to keep that going if you are elected.
Well, thank you. I certainly have tried to pick up on what Fred laid down as a path forward for Royal Palm Beach. You know, Royal Palm Beach is a family-oriented hometown, has kind of a small town feel, even though it isn't so small anymore, especially with all of the development that's going on around us in particular. And so one of the things that I'm trying to do is to maintain those things that keep that hometown, small town feel, while at the same time making sure that we're responsive to the needs of the current residents as well as future residents, which of course keeps a town vibrant, and it requires some particular effort in the area of spending time out in the field with the people, spending time with various organizations around us, such as the Transportation Planning Agency and League of Cities, to make sure we're in tune with what's going on, not just in Royal Palm Beach, which is most important to us, but also around us, which affects us in many ways.
Mayor, you mentioned that Royal Palm Beach is not that small anymore. It really is growing. The population is growing. You guys have a new post office. You were just telling me too about a new supermarket that opened up, a Hispanic grocery store there. So what is the village doing in order to accommodate this growing population?
Well, you just mentioned two things. And in fact, one of the things we're proud of is the fact that we're attracting a lot of new businesses into Royal Palm Beach. The supermarket that I was just talking about is a Hispanic supermarket, very unique in what it provides, very much in tune with the fact that our Hispanic population, a portion of our population, is growing at a very rapid rate. We're about 30% of our total population right now, Hispanic. So the bringing of a brand new supermarket like that to Royal Palm Beach is timely, and it's also an indication of how much attention we are paying to who we are in Royal Palm Beach. But as I said before, it's really important for us to maintain that hometown feel. Back in 2008, actually, Family Circle magazine rated us as one of the top 10 best places to raise a family in the United States. We've been doing pretty good at maintaining that. And we do that through Parks and Rec. We do that through a lot of other activities that we have ongoing in Royal Palm Beach, and we'll continue to do that. But one of the challenges we have facing us right now is traffic.
That was going to be my next question, because with a growing population comes more traffic.
Absolutely. And again, that traffic comes from all of the development around us as well as internal to Royal Palm Beach. The best way that I have seen for us to handle that traffic situation going forward is to have a collaborative effort to put together a plan that would bring together the right kinds of transit with the right kind of road systems, with the right kinds of technology to help us manage intersections and things of that nature. Right now, we don't have a holistic plan like that. But what we do have is an initiative underway which is unique. I have never seen the county working as closely with the cities, working with the school district to deal with one problem that is cross-cutting and is a problem that we will only solve if we all work together. And so we've got this initiative called the Countywide Master Transportation Plan. And I have the honor of actually serving as the vice chair of the executive committee overseeing that development. So hopefully by June of this year, we'll have a contractor in place who will begin to work on this plan with us, which is the key thing, in order to be able to come up with the best possible combination of things that deal with the increased traffic.
What about housing? What about affordable housing? Is that something on your agenda?
Oh, it is. It's on everybody's agenda, and it is a challenge. It's a challenge for the county, and of course the county has a Housing for All program with originally had $200 million of funds available, and I think there's some money in there that we can tap into. We're fortunate in Royal Palm Beach, though. Our housing inventory is a very diverse one. We're 65 years old. So we have houses that go back to the 70s, which tend right now to be as close to a starter home as you're going to find any place. We are developing with a careful eye toward providing more dwelling units than we have in the past, meaning that basically we have things like townhouses as a preferred approach to adding to our housing inventory. We have new apartments going in on a 200-acre mixed-use area that's being developed over by Southern Boulevard and State Road 7.
Mayor, your address to people here this morning on, why they should vote for you on March 11th.
Well, one of the things that I bring is experience, and it's a combination of the experience that I've brought, being a retired Army colonel, having spent a lot of time in Washington, and I'm still recovering from that experience, but then also the time that I've been here, 23 years in Royal Palm Beach. I've been involved in everything from teaching at Palm Beach Atlantic University to actually being president and key positions on League of Cities and various other organizations that give me insight into not only what's going on within Royal Palm Beach, but also within the county itself. I think the most important thing is that I bring good relationships with decision makers throughout the county, both internal to Royal Palm Beach, but then also at county and state level. That relationship, or those relationships, come over time. They take effort, but that's how you get things done. And that's what I'm hoping to bring, continuing going forward.
Mayor Hamara, thank you so much for your time this morning and joining us here on The Record. After the break, we are going to sit down with the vice mayor, who is also running for mayor, when we come back.
You're watching On the Record on WPBF 25.
Thank you for staying with us this morning. We are continuing our discussions with the candidates running for mayor of Royal Palm Beach. Joining me now is the current vice mayor, Selena Samios. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very much for having me, Natalie.
All right, so let's get right into it. You are doing right now, you're in the vice mayor's role. How will you transition that role from vice mayor to mayor if you win the election?
Thank you very much for the question. I've had the privilege of serving the Royal Palm Beach residents for the last 8 years. I've been vice mayor 3 times already, so it is a very easy transition to go from one to the other. I am proud to say up to this point that we've really worked hard for the residents since I've been on the council. We have, I focused on our seniors, so we have housing and transportation concerns mediated. We work on government transparency, and then we've also worked on our local businesses, so the ease of opening up a business in Royal Palm Beach.
You have been serving the Royal Palm Beach for 8 years now. You said it has definitely changed a lot in those 8 years, including a growing population. The prior guest, the mayor, was telling me about a post office that opened up. There's a new grocery store that just opened up as well. So how will you tackle the growing population in Royal Palm?
It's great. We have, we're 12 square miles. We have 23 amazing parks. We have a little over 39,000 residents, and we are divided. We are a melting pot of residents as well, so different ethnicities, so we have different types of grocery stores and restaurants. We are focusing on not only internally what we can do in Royal Palm Beach, but externally. So we're surrounded by Wellington that's expanding, by Westlake that's expanding, by Avenir that's expanding. So it's also dealing with all the changes that are going around us, and how to make sure that we maintain our unique character and charm for the village.
I want to talk a little bit about transportation access, because with a growing population, of course, comes more people on the road. You know, some residents in Royal Palm say that there's not too much transportation access. You know, Brightline is very coastal, and there should be more access to the west side of Palm Beach County. How would you address that?
I think that's an amazing question. I've been very vocal that I'm not happy with Route 52 being removed from our local bus.
The route.
Thank you. So my concern is how do our older or physically disabled residents can get around? There's also those that can't afford it. So what are they going to do? I've loved the idea of Circuit, so that we have it down in West Palm Beach, that we can bring that to Royal Palm to get around. There is also, at least with Uber and different opportunities that way that they can transfer around, but transportation is an issue, and just working on different options. We're very fortunate that our community cares serves the 65 plus community of Wellington and Royal Palm Beach for free, and that helps the transportation issue with our seniors.
What about housing? I mean, housing right now is such an issue in our state, in our communities. What will you do about just affordable housing?
Affordable housing is a hot topic everywhere. I'm proud to say that our millage rate is the lowest in the county of residents over 2,000, so that we can control. I went up to Tallahassee and I worked with Tasha Campbell, who is the consumer advocate for insurance, to work because homeowner insurance is very getting out of reach for a lot of people. So it's working on those ends of it, making sure that we do have options, housing options, so single family versus multifamily, whatever works on everyone's budget. The other issue is we can't control the property state taxes that they're doing for our county, but we can work within our budget to make sure that we do have the lowest millage rate to help homeowners.
Selena, what do you think is the biggest issue facing Royal Palm Beach right now?
I think a lot of it has to do with the surrounding areas as well. We can't control what other municipalities are doing. We can control what we're doing. So I want to make sure that we have traffic options that are under control, that we do have smart growth options available, and that we really are maintaining the culture of Royal Palm Beach so that we have that character and charm that we've grown to love in the village.
You are the only woman in the race. I know in just speaking to candidates in the past, sometimes women like to embrace that in their campaign. Sometimes they say, hey, it doesn't make a difference. You know, I'm right up there with the guys as well. What kind of approach do you take?
I think, I have a tremendous opportunity to be the first woman mayor in Royal Palm Beach. We've not had one in our 65 years. But really the right person for the job should hold the job. I'm proud to say is that I've kept my word. I fought for our residents. When I hear about traffic concerns and housing issues, that I voted with our residents in those manners. And I really do listen and problem solve. I'm proud to say that we brought a FEMA location out to Royal Palm Beach after Hurricane Milton. So these are issues that our residents have expressed to me, and love the fact that we're able to problem solve and supply that for them.
All right, Vice Mayor, your message this morning to our viewers on why they should vote for you on March 11th.
I'm Selena Samios. I am running for mayor of Royal Palm Beach, and I am asking for your vote on March 11th to make sure that we maintain our village's unique character and charm while working with transportation and housing concerns. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Selena Samios, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for
joining us
having me.
here. Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
Thank you.
Yes. Still ahead, we sit down with the newcomer in the race. Stay with us. Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue our conversation this morning with the candidates for mayor of Royal Palm Beach. Joining me now is Justin Plaza. Thanks so much for being here, Justin.
Thank you for having me.
So as the newcomer in the race, I want to get to know a little bit about you, your background. What do you want to let people know?
Well, the reason why I'm joining this is because I want to make a change. I want to introduce a platform that gives, well, it's a fully democratic system. So the idea and the concept is to re-engage everyone in your community at voting age. Give everyone a voice, everyone a vote. Because if you think about a scenario, let's say, hey, behind your house is a forest. And now it's knocked down and paved over and there's 25 condos going up there. Would you have voted yes on that? Probably not. So I ask myself that question every day. Why does it keep happening? So I need to understand and get in there and just listen to what's happening first, and then introduce a platform that allows the people and the residents to vote in real time, whether they want that particular project to work. The council will introduce what happens, what they see, the pros, the cons, why we think we should do it, why not. But whatever the town people vote on, there's a certain threshold that needs to be reached. But if they vote yes, then I'm going to vote yes. So,
what from your professional background, your professional experience, will you bring into the race, into the role?
well, I started an IT company when I was 19. We've gone from me making $30,000 a year to a company that employs 11 plus 30 subcontractors, several $1 million a year company. So I understand how to get from A to B and then the C to D and so on and so forth. So I have a wealth of experience. To be honest, I've been thrown in some scenarios, and there hasn't really been a challenge or a problem that I haven't been able to find a solution for.
And according to your website, you will not be accepting a salary if you do win you'll be putting that money into other things?
Yes.
What kind of programs are we talking about?
Mostly recreational sports for kids, so any kind of recreational sports, football, soccer, cheerleading, you name it, it's going to be distributed accordingly.
So some of the things that we've been talking about this morning for Royal Palm Beach, the growing population, transportation, and also housing. So let's start with the growing population. What will you do to address that?
Well, and again, that's the beauty of the platform. I'm not running a me campaign. This is not for me. This is for everyone. So I will present the options, what's going to happen, what's being presented to the people, and the people will make that decision. And the way that I'm going to do it is we're going to re-engage them. And now the way to keep them engaged is we're going to actually give benefits to small businesses as a town. Now they're going to get rewarded for contributing, for voting, and as a lottery system, they'll get a free dinner for this particular small business in our town. So it keeps the active community engaged. It gives everyone a focus, and it realigns everyone's position within the town.
And what about when it comes to transportation? Some people in Royal Palm have felt that there's not really great transportation access, in fact, none whatsoever. So is that something that would be on your agenda?
It would have to be reassessed. I plan on going into this fully blind. I haven't analyzed the budget, but when I do get it, I guarantee I'll find some money savings there, and we'll put it where it belongs.
And would you bring your business background into that when it comes to the budget and planning?
Yeah, so outside of running for mayor for Royal Palm Beach, I'm an efficiency expert, so a small business owner, plus my core focus is I go into medium-sized to large companies and I analyze everything they do, and we usually find 30-35% savings on their total IT budget. So I'm not far into the concept of analyzing complex situations.
We've been talking about affordable housing this morning. You know, this is definitely a big topic for a lot of people. How is that something that you would tackle? Would that be a top priority for you?
It's not a top priority for me. And again, the campaign is, let's hear it from the town. Everyone lives in our town. It's our town. So let's hear what the people and the residents actually want. It should be their decision. They live there and they should make the choices on that.
And if they do say, hey, yes, we need more affordable housing, what would you do?
That's whether I believe in it or not, it will be as they wish.
What kind of plan would you put in place?
Clarify?
Just for affordable housing, what kind of would you do for people besides listening to them?
If they wanted that, then we would go out to the local subject matter experts and figure out the best way, and then reintroduce, since you wanted this, here are our options, and they'll have to vote on that next step as well.
Justin, what are your ties to Royal Palm?
Well, I moved here in 2016. My wife was pregnant with our fourth child at the time, and her parents lived down the block, so it seemed like a good fit. The schools were great, they were blue ribbon, everything was perfect, and I haven't had a problem since. I love my town, and I want to keep it as it is. I don't want it to change. I don't want it to grow grow into leaps and bounds here.
All right, so your message to voters this morning who will be heading out to the polls on March 11th as to why they should vote for Justin Plaza.
It's not a vote for me, it's a vote for you. You finally get a chance to have your voice heard. Just get out and vote. Turnout in Royal Palm Beach is small, usually less than 2,000. So if we can get 30,000 people to get out and vote, it'll show who actually wants what within our town.
All right, Justin, thank you so much for your time this morning and for stopping by. And as a reminder, Election Day for the mayor of Royal Palm Beach is taking place on March 11th. On the Record, we'll be right back. Thank you for making us a part of your morning. As always, we encourage you to be part of our discussion each and every Sunday right here at 10 a.m. Until then, you can watch this morning's On the Record and every episode on our website, WPBF.com, and our free WPBF 25 News app. Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien is next. We'll see you again next Sunday.